Can we actually get this thing started? You ready?
Okay.
Let's just get this on.
Dude, why do you stop touching my screen?
Okay.
Dude. You ready to do this? Yeah, let me check my mic one time.
Testing.
Alright, once I check my mic, we are going. If it's good. I'll tell you if it's good. Okay. Hello everybody, and welcome back to the 2-minute warning. I am Andrew alongside JJ and Ben. Guys, it's been a little bit, but we are finally back.
It's been a while, but it's what an amazing 2 weeks of sports we just experienced. I'm excited for this pod.
And we changed our name. We are no longer the 2-minute warning podcast. We are the 2 Tries podcast.
Oh yeah, about that. JJ, you want to tell us what happened? So this is actually would have been out maybe a little bit earlier, but JJ, what happened last night?
I feel like I'm the perfect person to tell.
Yes.
Because I got home from an 11-hour car journey.
So this is just excuses, but yes.
An 11-hour car journey, I was called up, hey, I know you just got home. Can you come over and film a podcast? And I said, yes, I'd love to because I love you guys so much. I will do it for you.
He didn't say that.
I came over. We recorded this podcast. How long was it?
58 minutes, something like that.
We got to the end of the podcast. I noticed that my headset was not on.
So his mic was turned off, is what he's saying. He literally had no mic. Half of the time, JJ was talking, there was no audio. So, it brings us...
Which might have been better for you guys, but we wanted to record it with my voice because we know you love it.
Yeah, we like JJ. So, but, starting this off, I was going to ask you guys, how was your vacation? What did you guys do? Where'd you go? That's why we haven't been here. We've all been traveling. So, what do you guys get to?
Yeah, it was really cool. We had a family trip. We went with some cousins to Washington, D.C., had a private tour. That was pretty cool. I've been back since Monday. JJ got back on yesterday, obviously.
Went to a little cabin.
Yeah, so it was a great time. Great time to relax a little bit.
Visited National Stadium. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
We also drove through, which we'll be talking about later, the U.S. Open. Good weather that time of day.
We're being sarcastic.
It was not very nice weather at the U.S. Open.
Also, we stayed at a cabin, got a lot of time in front of the TV to watch what's been going on.
Yeah, I was in Colorado. My brother lives in Colorado, so took a trip there. Then my fiance also lives in Pennsylvania, so I took a trip there. So that brings us to today. So I think we're ready to talk about sports for the second time on this subject. Starting with our top 3. The third thing we think is the most relevant in sport right now is college baseball. College baseball has reached the championship series, and in the championships of college baseball, it is a best of 3. We have Coastal Carolina will be facing LSU.
Hottest team in the nation.
Yes, Coastal Carolina is the hottest team in the nation. They have won 26 consecutive games coming into this.
Andrew, quick shout out for the softball. The girls. We need to give the girls.
We do need to give the girls a shout out real quick here at the beginning of the pod. Congratulations to Texas. They are little claps. They are your women's softball national champions. Just an incredible run by Texas, beating Texas Tech in the final. Mia Scott had an incredible series, a couple home runs, a grand slam. So congratulations to Texas on that. Back to the men's side, back to baseball. Like we said, Coastal Carolina, LSU. Coastal Carolina has won 26 consecutive games. They are very, very hot right now. They've basically walked through the entire tournament. For sure in the World Series, their closest game was maybe 3 runs. They got to the championship by beating Louisville 11-3. Just on an absolute tear right now. Powerhouse right now.
Sun Belt Conference. It just means more.
Yeah, that's where your good teams are found in Sun Belt. They've been outscoring their opponents 64-25. That's plus 39. During the tournament. They have one of the best players in the nation, Caden Bodine's their catcher.
Andrew, quick question.
Yes?
Coastal Carolina plays Colorado Rockies right now. Who wins?
That's still Colorado Rockies. It's still a professional team.
Okay.
Are
you sure?
Yes, I'm very sure.
Just think about it.
Have you guys never had this conversation with football either? When Alabama was really good and Brown's going on 16?
I thought Alabama would have beat the Browns.
No shot.
Yeah.
No shot.
I think they would have.
No.
They're better coach.
Maybe better coach, but they're just bigger.
Who was the quarterback at that time? Was it Baker Mayfield? Or no, that was...
No, that was like a...
That was way before.
It's a Taylor or something. I forget. I forget.
Yeah, you forget who it was, and
Yeah.
you know who the Crimson Tide had?
Who was it?
I don't know. That.
Yeah, you didn't even know. Who would that have been? No, we're not going to talk about it. We're getting off script. We're going to go back to Coastal Carolina. But yeah, pretty much just boat racing everybody. And also they pitch very, very well as well. They have the second best ERA in the nation all year with 3.25. Yeah, playing incredible baseball.
And then on the other side, Team of Destiny.
Other side, we have LSU. So, probably talk a little bit more about LSU than Coastal Carolina just because their games haven't been close. LSU, on the other hand, has had some wild games. So they defeated Arkansas, number 3 Arkansas, 6-5 to advance to the championship game.
Thriller.
Just an absolutely incredible game. JJ, you know, kind of tell us what happened in that game, starting in the 8th inning.
I caught the last 3 innings. Who's that guy's name?
Let's set this up first. Let's go with so Arkansas, again, like I said, number 3 team in the nation. Their only loss in the World Series was to LSU in the first round. Also a great game. Arkansas has fantastic pitching. 2 games before this, Gage Wood, their pitcher, threw a no-hitter. It was the 3rd no-hitter in World Series history, first one since 1960. Just an absolutely incredible performance by Gage. He threw 119 pitches, 19 strikeouts. The only runner he allowed in the game was on a 2-2 count in the 8th inning. He hit him in the foot. So just absolute domination. And then also in the next game, I believe they won by 5 or 6 runs. They gave up 3 runs. They were all in the 9th inning when the game was already in hand. So just a team that pitches really, really well, does not give up very many runs. So that's setting up this game. And then
Would you say they were the favorites coming into?
they were the favorites. They were the favorite coming into this tournament. They were projected to win it all. There's a lot of people picking it. And a little bit more backstory. Arkansas is a team that has been cursed. Like, they have made it. What did you say? They were 0-7 against LSU.
0-5.
0-5 coming in against LSU in the tournament.
They just couldn't make it to the next
They're always
step.
right there, but they can never make it to the championship.
And they wouldn't get cursed again, right?
No, surely not. Well, so, saying all that, we'll pick it up in the bottom of the 8th inning. Arkansas up 3-2. Pretty much cruising along until Jared Jones comes to the plate.
Best mustache in the game.
Has a phenomenal mustache. We'll get that. Also, one of the best pure power hitters in college baseball. And he did hit a solo home run, tied the game up at 3 in the bottom of the 8th. We'll come back to him later. That'll make a little more sense later.
It felt like the pendulum swung a little bit. It was kind of a grit and grind game up to that point, and then Jared Jones just unravels that ball, and then you feel like things are going to start ramping up here in the last few innings.
And you felt like LSU had kind of taken control at that point. Again, Arkansas was like, yeah, they might have lost it. They're probably not going to get it back because LSU's a powerhouse in baseball. They've been a powerhouse for a long time, won a couple of national championships, won just a couple years ago with Skeens. And so, yeah, it felt like the tide
was on.
Yeah, it felt like the tide kind of switched in LSU's direction. Top of the 9th inning, runners 2nd and 3rd, 2 outs, Justin Thomas Jr. at the plate. And Justin Thomas Jr. did line a base hit to left field, put the Hogs up 5-3 in the top of the 9th. So, again, now Arkansas has all the momentum. They have great pitching. They seem like they're gonna win this game.
Got 2 fresh arms in the bullpen ready to come out, shut them down.
Yeah, I believe they brought in a freshman who had been very, very good all year for Arkansas. And turned out, great slider, first batter of the inning, throws a couple sliders, strikes him out. So you got 1 out, nobody on, up by 2. Feel like Arkansas is going to win this game.
Well,
that's not exactly what happened.
They forgot how to play defense.
So the next two guys get on. So we got 1st and 2nd, 1 out for LSU. There is a hard hit ground ball to shortstop, and we'll put this out there. Arkansas's shortstop Vahia Aloy is one of the best players in college baseball. He is projected 1st-round pick. One of the best, probably the best player on the field.
High
that
IQ.
night, high IQ, very good player. First and 2nd, 1 out. Ground ball to him, easy double play. If he turns this double play, this game is over. Like, game is over, Arkansas wins. He throws the ball to 3rd.
third base.
No reason for it. We're not sure why it happened. I was watching with my dad. We looked at each other like, what is he doing? The announcer was even like, that's an easy double play. It's not like it was hit soft where he might have not got to. Like, this is a double play. The game is over.
It almost seems like he forgot they had an out. Like
Yeah, it felt like he didn't have, or he thought maybe it was a one-run game where that runner was so important.
The ease at which that would have been a double play, even if there was, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. I don't know why that happened. Okay, still getting out. They're still getting out. They're still up 5-3, 2 outs. Yeah, and so it's like, hey, it's still in hand. It might not cost them. It might be a point in the game you know anything about after that.
But then your boy walks to the plate.
But then LSU's catcher comes to the plate, hits a ball at 104 miles an hour. But Arkansas's left fielder Charles Davallon is there. Okay, he was playing deep. He's there, ready to make the play. But as he breaks to make the play, he slips. He slips, and the entire time he's like going after this ball, he's kind of stumbling around, never really gets his feet. Puts his glove up. It goes off his shoulder, bounds to the corner, 2-run score. We're tied at 5.
It almost hits him in the head.
It did almost hit in the head. That would have hurt. 104 mile an hour baseball in the head.
So we have one of the best athletes, one of the best shortstops in the game, making a mental mistake. Then we have our man Charles making a physical mistake and a mental mistake. And now I want to talk about what happened next, because I feel like this was maybe the worst play of the entire inning. So like I said, Jared Jones earlier tied the game up in the 8th. So guy at second, 2 outs, tie ball game. Jared Jones comes to the plate. Okay? I look at my dad and I tell him, you have to walk him. This is their best hitter. Guy at second, first base is open. The run doesn't even matter to put him on first. Puts it in the force out. You have to put Jared Jones on base. And he's their 5th hitter, correct?
I believe he's their 5th hitter.
So there's no one. There's not a
But
lot of
okay,
power
even if there would be, he is their guy.
You can't let him hit.
He's been playing really well lately. He struggled earlier in the tournament, starting to play really well. You cannot pitch to Jared Jones. Okay, I will admit, when the at-bat started, it was pretty clear they weren't really going after him. Every single pitch was a slider down and away, attempting to be off the plate. The first one was off. The second one, he left up a little bit. Jones fouled it off. The third one, he buried again down and away. And at this point, I thought on him, I was like, dude, you cannot do this because I knew what pitch was coming. You knew it was going to be a slider down and away. And if he leaves it up at all, Jared Jones is going to hit this ball because he knows what's coming.
What are you doing?
Sure enough, he left it up. Left it up just enough. Jared Jones kind of just lays one out into right center, kind of pokes it. The second baseman jumps, goes off his glove, ball lands, run scores, LSU to the championship.
Game over.
So,
and by hitting the glove, an inch.
It hit his glove. Like, it hit the top of his glove, yeah. Like, literally an inch away from making the play.
3 plays in a row that, lots of tears were shed.
Yeah, there were lots of tears. Aloy was sobbing. Davallon was sobbing. Just felt like they left their team down. But I will give my props to Arkansas. They played a great game. After they lost LSU in the first round, they kind of dominated after that. And then they just couldn't get by LSU again. It looked like they were going to at least force another game. And I believe if they would have forced another game, Gage Wood, the guy through the no-hitter, would have pitched in that game. So you like their chances there. But just an absolute heartbreak for Arkansas.
Unreal ending to their season.
Yeah, so that's college baseball. We are now set up with, again, LSU versus Coastal Carolina in the final. Any thoughts on that, JJ, with what this final is going to look like, what you're looking forward to?
I haven't seen much of Coastal Carolina, mostly because they have kind of rolled into this, and I kind of tuned out from Miami. Got beat out. Anyway, I have to pick LSU because they seem destined to win it all. You can talk about more of what Coastal Carolina brings to the table because I'm not knowledgeable enough to talk about that. But what I have seen, LSU is the team that seems to have fate on their side.
Ben, you got anything?
No, not really. I haven't caught much of this. Same deal after Florida lost. I kind of lost interest. But, no, like Coastal Carolina looks really good. And like JJ said, LSU is kind of on a roll too. But, like you said, Coastal Carolina's won 26 straight. It's going to be hard to lose to them. So
it is one of those things, a 7-game series, the best team's going to win. 3-game series, see how LSU sneak around.
Yeah, I could see that too. But it feels like they're just so good. They feel like a machine right now. Again, none of the games have been close. They have one of the best pitching staffs. Plus, they score. I think they're top 10 in runs as well. The way they're rolling, it feels very, very inevitable they win. It feels completely different than the national championship they had in 2016, to where they were the huge underdogs. It just feels like they're a team of destiny this year.
Should be good.
Should be a fun series. Starts tomorrow night, I believe 7 o'clock. Tune in, guys. College baseball is so much fun. The guys get riled up. It's crazy amount of emotion. So if you haven't been, college sports is incredible.
Amen.
But you'll have strikeouts and pitchers on the mound just screaming.
That's right.
It's so much fun. So if you're not tuned in yet, you definitely should be.
I don't know if you guys caught any of that Texas batter that was like taunting after every single pitch. Mm-hmm. That was hilarious. And then when he lost, obviously, it was amazing. But, good stuff coming for college finals.
Again, give that a watch. All right. So the number 2 thing we believe in sports right now is the NBA Finals. One advantage of us missing the recording last night, that was during the game. Now we know we will have a Game 7.
Oh, so excited.
So excited. Best 2 words in sports, Game 7. Let's go. Ben, I'll let
First
you
one since 2016.
Yeah, and we know what happened in 2016, don't we?
Yeah, Ben, I'll let you kind of take over this one. You're more the resident basketball guy here.
Yeah. I will tell you what, I could not be more excited to see Game 7 in this series, especially as a fan of the Pacers. This has been such a fun series so far. As far as if you like basketball, you like this, and this is great.
I don't even really love basketball, and I've really enjoyed this series.
It's incredible because it has a nice balance of people get mad when there's blowouts in the finals, but it's good to see your team blow them out. Like both teams have had a blowout win now, and then there's been several very close games. So I think it's a perfect balance, and this series so far has been so exciting. Obviously, the turnout. We got a Game 7. Any series that goes to Game 7 is exciting. This has been such a great series.
Yeah, shocking, really.
Definitely.
Thunder. Besides, the Pacers have that Game 1 win, the shocker. Besides that, the Thunder kind of rolled. I mean, the Pacers did win at home. You expect them to win 1 at home. Last night, It's unreal, honestly, what the Pacers did. Halliburton injured, the Thunder blowing him out again. You feel like the Thunder going into Indianapolis and coming out with a win. And unfortunately for my betting career, that's not what happened. But huge game by the Pacers. They are so well coached, and I cannot wait because anything can happen.
Yeah, that game last night was interesting. Some people close to the Thunder believe that they almost kind of sold in order to go and win back at Oklahoma City. I don't believe that, but you have to think, okay, if by chance they did that, why on earth? We know this Pacers team. We know their tendency to win games that they probably shouldn't. You never want to do that. But that being said, it's going to be a really fun game on, Sunday night?
Sunday night.
Because, like we said, the Pacers won an unpredicted Game 1 at OKC, and no one thought they were going to win that. And here they are back in OKC for Game 7. I think they have what it takes.
I don't think the Thunder should take this lightly because the Pacers have done it before. They're going to be 2 desperate teams on Sunday, and that's going to be so fun to watch. Mm-hmm. The intensity is going to be incredible. I'm not saying the last Game 7 wasn't. You had LeBron, who had already won some finals. You had Steph, who already won 8 finals. So the intensity was there as well, but this finals is going to be something special.
Yeah, you've got 20-plus guys that have never been to a finals besides Pascal Siakam, and I believe it was James Johnson. It's going to be incredible. One thing that's been kind of a hot topic in the NBA world is that Halliburton hasn't been playing well at all. He's had not a lot. He hasn't scored a lot. The last game, obviously, he was injured a little bit. He had zero field goals and several turnovers. Not a great player, but that's such a testament for the Pacers because they have all these role players that can step up, and to step up in the finals is so impressive. I know JJ likes my guy TJ.
Yeah, the Pacers role players are incredible. TJ McConnell what can I say about that man?
He did it again last night.
He inspires me. I tell my friends all the time, if I worked as hard as TJ McConnell, I would be TJ McConnell. And they laugh at me.
We do laugh at you.
But yeah, he is him, Andrew Nemard. We've seen Obi Toppin turn into the best three-point shooter since Klay Thompson in these finals. Yeah, it's incredible to watch.
Yeah, but obviously on the flip side, the same thing could be said about the Thunder. Shea has shown himself to be a worthy superstar, so that's nothing's new there. But you come to the finals, your first finals appearance. You never know if nerves come up. You never know if you got those bright lights in your eyes. But he's shown to be solid throughout. And then obviously J-Dub, he's been stepping up as well. He's had a 30-point game. He's been huge. But yeah, same thing could be said for them. It's just, I don't know. You can tell me, I guess, you might have watched closer to the Thunder, but the Pacers seem just like they want it so bad. All of their role players come in, and they step up exactly how they should. Whereas sometimes you see the Thunder relying more on their starters than the Pacers do.
And we're going to dive into the NHL, but there's a rumor that if the Thunder win Game 7, just like Connor McDavid won the Conn Smythe trophy last year, TJ McConnell could be up for that award.
There's no way you're serious about that, right?
Just throwing that out.
There's no shot.
He's not like that.
Okay, good. Okay. But no, it feels like the Pacers are, I think we said it last pod, it feels like they're just a team of destiny at this point.
Yeah.
Like, they've been counting out every single series, and they seem to find a way. And if what you said about the Thunder is true, that they just want to win it back in OKC, that's a massive mistake.
Yeah.
Because you give that team an inch, they will take it and they will destroy you.
So true.
You've seen the trolls on Instagram and Twitter. The Pacers have the devil magic. You gotta watch out for them. Not that we not that we agree with any of that here in the pod.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean. A funny clip surfaced last night of Pascal Siakam in the pregame huddle where he lifted his head back and his eyes rolled back into his head. It was really creepy and it was real. So it's concerning. But they managed to win, so I don't know what that means.
And what poetic justice this finals has been, I understand Gilgeous-Alexander is a superstar, but the lack of superstars and the team, homegrown cooking, both of these teams playing the long game in a season where you saw the trade for Doncic, when we're talking about where Durant's going to go, we're going to talk about the Bane trade later. Mm-hmm. These teams trying to get these superstar groups, and then you have these two that just kind of...
70% of the players in the finals are from the G League originally.
That's incredible. That's what makes even for a guy like me, watching this series has been so much fun, because it's a lot of role players. Love to see different guys, just stepping up, and even bench play. The bench play has been absolutely incredible in this finals. So yeah, I feel like even for maybe more casual fans, it's been a lot more fun.
And a shout out to the referees for letting him play.
Yes, they did let him play last night, which was very fun.
Yeah, it's been a great series. It's good for basketball.
Yes.
Stuff like this is good for basketball. They talk about the TV ratings, there's no superstars. This is good for basketball. This might have been what the NBA needed, because I know that they were kind of down on ratings during the season.
I would take a little Ant-Man slamming one on Cat, though.
Definitely.
That would be nice.
Definitely.
All right, anyway.
So I'll ask you guys real quick. Just give me a Game 7 prediction. Who's going to win? If you're feeling a score, just throw out a score, too. Who you think's going to Game 7?
Oh, man. I mean, obviously, I'm going to take the Pacers. I think they got it in them, especially after the momentum from last night. They were up by over 30 at one point. It's impressive. I would say Pacers 112 to 109. Close game.
I'm going to roll with the Thunder. They let me down. I said Thunder in 5. That didn't happen. So I said Thunder in 6. That didn't happen. I'm going Thunder.
Run it back one more time.
Running it back. Strength in numbers. I mean, Halliburton is still not 100%. The Thunder have just so many bodies. I know the only thing is they're young, and that's the one thing that worries me. Siakam is the only player that's won a finals, but I have to go the Thunder at home. That's a tough place to play.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go Pacers. Like I said a little bit ago, they just feel like a team of destiny. Everybody's doubted them every single game. Last night, nobody was given a chance to win that game, and they come out and just roll the Thunder. So I think I'm going to go Pacers. What's crazy, the score I had in my head was 112-108.
That's crazy.
So that's what I'm going to go. So I mean, Ben right along there with the 112 and 1 point off.
See, that's interesting because you said that LSU has the destiny, right?
Right.
But you also chose Carolina.
I feel like Coastal Carolina is the team of destiny. Like, they're just that good.
Oh, okay.
LSU just, has been good, but I feel like Coastal's the team that needs to win one, and I think will.
This is awesome. Yep. Good stuff. Great stuff in the NBA.
Moving on from the NBA, just good luck to both teams, and be a fun one on Sunday. And then the number one thing we believe is relevant right now in sports is the Stanley Cup. Quick clap for the Florida Panthers being our Stanley Cup champions.
If you want the cup, you better get some suntan, boys, because it's coming to Florida every year.
Back-to-back Stanley Cup champions for the Florida Panthers. Just an absolutely incredible series.
Oilers.
Is this the Oilers falling apart again, or the Panthers just that good?
Both.
A little bit of both. I think I agree. I think it's more the Panthers winning it. I think they really, really earned it. Just talking about a little bit.
I feel like you're going to try to get away from our predictions we had at the beginning.
What was our predictions at the beginning? What did you guys say? I don't remember.
I
think you went Panthers in 6, didn't you?
I might have said Panthers.
I'm pretty sure you said Panthers. I said Oilers in 6. I do remember that. I think JJ said Panthers in 6. Ben, do you remember what you said?
Pretty well.
I think he said Panthers in 6.
Do you remember what you said?
I'm trying to find what I said. I thought I had it down somewhere.
He said Panthers in 6.
I don't know if we wrote that down or not.
I wrote Panthers in something. I forget what it was.
I think you said Panthers in 6.
Anyway, the hockey man got bested by 2 Knowles who know.
They know no puck. It's not no ball anymore. It's no puck.
No puck.
Talking about a little bit. Sam Bennett won the Conn Smythe Trophy. An absolute amazing run in the playoffs. He had 15 goals in the playoffs, 7 assists. That's 22 points, and 5 goals in the Stanley Cup.
And it's hard to pick a Conn Smythe for that team because they have so many guys.
They have so many. They had so many contributors.
Grind. Bobrovsky could have been. Marchand was the emotion driving force, and he came on a little late, so I think that's kind of why. But man, it's hard to choose.
Yeah, I think if this would have been so. The thing about the Conn Smythe is it's a playoff award. It's not a lot of teams are a lot of leagues like a finals award. At baseball, is a World Series MVP. This is over the whole playoffs. I think if this would have been a finals one or a Stanley Cup trophy, it would be probably Marchand because he played very well in the Stanley Cup. But ultimately did go to Bennett. Fun fact about Bennett: out of his 15 goals, 13 of those goals were on the road.
Signs in the crowd.
He does love signs in the crowd, which is huge against the Oilers. That stadium can be bonkers, and if you can, keep them quiet, it's insane. First couple games were pretty good, but ultimately the Panthers kind of feel like they kind of controlled this series. Almost from the jump. They outscored the Oilers 28-17 in the whole Stanley Cup. So it was kind of close. It felt kind of close.
We had 3 games go to overtime.
3 games went to overtime.
The Thunder series. Thunder were in control, same as the Panthers. I mean, the Oilers got a few wins because they have superstars that are just so good, which we're going to talk about what's going to happen to them, too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. First 2 games went to overtime. Oilers won game 1. Panthers won game 2. And then I'll talk about game 3 a little bit. That's where I feel like this series really took a huge turn in game 3. First game in Florida, Panthers win 6-1. Dominating fashion. The big thing in the game, Oilers took 85 penalty minutes. They gave up 14 power plays.
Not going to win a lot of games doing that.
Yeah, you're usually not going to win a lot of games giving up 14 power plays. For sure against the Panthers. I'm not going to say they're a great power play team, but that's the style they want to play. They want to rough you up. They want to be the big guys in there. And it felt like in game 3, the Oilers started to play how the Panthers wanted them to play.
And especially the Oilers, long series, several game 7s these playoffs, and then you get into the finals and you're getting roughed up every turn. And if you start playing the Panthers game, you're not going to win because they have all the beef they need to get it done. And game 1 and 2, you had 2 overtime games at home for the Oilers, so they struggled to win at home even. And then you go to the Panthers' house, and they just roll you.
Yeah, like I said, I felt like this is really where the series. Where I feel like Game 3 is where the Panthers won the series. I know Oilers won in Game 4, but Panthers went up 3-0 in that game. They had to battle back the entire time. Felt like the Panthers kind of controlled that game, just let it slip away. And then the Oilers ended up winning in overtime. And then after that, the last two games was 5-2 and 5-1. So again, after that Game 3, it felt like it really shifted. I do want to ask about Game 6, about them starting Skinner again, the goalie for Edmonton. So in Game 4, after the Panthers went up 3-0, they did pull Stuart Skinner, put in Pickard, and Pickard only allowed one goal the rest of the game. Oilers come back, win that game. Pickard did start Game 5 that they lost 5-2, and then in Game 6 they went back to Skinner. How did you feel about that one, JJ?
I have a problem with any team not being decisive in the net. You saw it with Dallas pulling Ottinger. They weren't. There was no solidarity for their team, knowing who was going to be their puck stopper. And so, who are you playing for? Are you playing for Skinner? Are you playing for Pickard? It doesn't give confidence to either one because they're not sure if they're being trusted or not. So I say you just got to pick one and stick with it, unless it's one of those things where he's clearly not playing well. Do you think he didn't play well?
Pickard, I felt like Pickard should have had the Game 6 start. I feel like so Game 3, Skinner did allow all those goals, but again, I don't feel like a lot of those were his fault.
Right.
But after Pickard was in net, Pickard kind of got them far in the playoffs until he got hurt. And the only reason he wasn't starting is because he got hurt.
And I think that's another thing. He needs to come back and start when he's back from injury.
Exactly. I agree. I thought once Pickard came back, I thought he was clearly the better goalie during the playoffs. As soon as he went in net, the Oilers kind of dominated until they got to the Cup, until he went out or two went out again. When he went out, Skinner did play pretty well up into the Cup. But I felt like Pickard had been playing so well that he should have got that Game 6 start. Ultimately, he didn't, and they lost. I do, again, like I said last pod, I felt like the biggest discrepancy in this entire Cup was the goalies, and that showed. Bobrovsky played phenomenal. Could have easily won the Conn Smythe.
And that faith that the players have, he's there. He's always going to be there. And the Oilers just didn't have that.
Yeah, he played absolutely incredible. Again, one of the best goalies. We can't say enough about Sergei Bobrovsky.
Second best goalie in Florida.
He's the best goalie in Florida. Sorry, I think he's past Vasilevsky at this point. So yeah, congratulations to Florida. Next year will be interesting. They do have a lot of free agents. Kachuk will be a free agent. Sam Bennett, Brad Marchand will be a free agent. So it'll be really interesting to see where they go from here. See how they play next year. They do kind of feel like the type of team though that can retain all those guys because they all feel like they love playing in Florida.
Right, and they don't have the incredible salary problems that their opponent's going to have. They need to pay McDavid this year, which is, I don't know if he wants to play there anymore. They need to add players because clearly they need more players along with McDavid and Draisaitl. And what you said about Florida, their guys want to play there. And you can kind of plug guys that play their style into that team, and they're going to be fine.
Yeah, I feel like it's very easy to find Florida style, those type of guys. They stick out.
Yeah.
They're not a superstar, but they definitely stick out of who they are. So, yeah, plug and playing guys there is not super hard for Florida.
But Marchand, come on down to Tampa Bay. We'll take you anytime.
Do you want everybody to come to Tampa Bay?
Correct. Connor McDavid.
Oh, sure.
Come on down, take a visit.
That'd be fun. I wouldn't mind watching Connor McDavid a little bit. I kind of like him. But, yeah, that's
crazy free agency this year.
Yes,
It's
this
gonna be,
offseason for hockey is going to be incredible.
I think Bobrovsky's on the market too, which they're not going to get with him. But
No, they'll keep him.
McDavid, Jack Eichel, Kaprizov. There's some crazy names on the market that we could see moved around from teams that just can't make it to the next level.
Yeah, should be very, very interesting. All right, so that is our top three. Moving on to our worst thing of the last week, a couple weeks actually.
And ladies and gentlemen, it's pretty bad.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's not great. So the worst thing currently in sports is Rory McIlroy. Rory McIlroy, since the Masters, his last 4 results since the Masters. Okay, the first one after was the Tourist Championship. He tied for 7th at 10 under, not bad. Then he goes pretty hard downhill after that. The PGA Championship, he tied for 47th at 3 over. He was cut at the RBC Canadian Open, shooting 9 over. It's the first time he missed the cut since last July at the PGA Championship. And then the U.S. Open, he finished tied for 19th at 7 over. He barely made the cut. He made a birdie on 18 to survive, which I think if he would have parred, he would have been okay. But if he would have bogeyed that hole, he would have been cut from the U.S. Open. In the RBC, he only hit 13 out of 28 fairways. Just in a bad spot right now.
Especially after just winning the greatest accomplishment in golf.
Correct. He won the Grand Slam. Like, he finally won the Masters when he hadn't won in or ever, and now he's just feels like he's plummeting.
Give the man some slack.
Why?
He's checked out.
Okay, that was.
He's on vacation.
I think that was the biggest question after the Masters was, is Rory going to just go on an absolute tear because he finally got the monkey off his back and it's just going to be insane now? Or is he going to back off and not play good golf? And it looks like it's the latter.
It's hot out there. It's summer break.
That's what it is. You think he's on summer break?
He's done it all.
Well, tell him to kick it into gear, bro.
He's
Come
done
on.
it all. It's like he has finished his finals.
He's not world number 1. He hasn't done it all. He's barely been world number 1.
Well, that's enough.
That's enough?
He's the Grand Slammer.
I just don't
He's
feel
a
like
Grand Slammer.
I feel like to be, one of the greatest golfers in the world, you can't just say that's enough. I feel like you can't just.
I don't think it's something
break.
that he's deciding to do. I think it's one of those things he's tired. It's a long career. It's almost mental wear and tear.
And it finally feels like, hey, he's done it all. There's not much more he can do. That's fair. He has come out and said that he's found it very hard to go to the range and get practice shots in. And so that side of it's been very hard. He also said he shot an 81 at Oakmont practice round for the U.S. Open.
That's Andrew on a bad
81.
day.
That's me on a bad day. No, not quite. I've shot that one time. So I'm not going to say that's me. But
I just don't like the narrative that he's getting older and he's washed or he's retiring. Like, I just looked up his age. He's only 36.
yeah, he's not that old.
He's not like.
No.
I think it's all the older guys that are still, competing for those Masters. I mean, granted, he started very young. He's just, but
But you have all these young guys who are pushing at all these tournaments. He's like, I just won the Masters. I don't want to play in the RBC Canadian Open.
But he did. Got cut. He doesn't
I
have to
don't wanna
play in
play
it, but he did. He got
The
cut.
truest championship.
Just don't
I'm going to
enter.
let these young guys win, then I'll come and
Okay,
win.
see, I can see that, but at the U.S. Open, nearly getting cut there too. At the PGA Championship, tying for 47th.
He's from Scotland. He doesn't want to play in the U.S. Open.
I don't care. That's not great.
Just
He is
one
currently
more.
playing in the Travelers Championship. He did shoot 6 under yesterday, but did go 1 over today. So could be an interesting tournament here. See how he finishes.
Summer break's over. It's been a month.
Continuing on the golf, talk about the U.S. Open. Congratulations, J.J. Spahn, your U.S. Open champion. He
news.
shot 1 under. Crazy tournament, crazy course at Oakmont. He was 1 under. He was the only player at even or better. This course was playing insane. The weather was crazy.
Like I said, we drove by Pittsburgh the day of, I think it was Saturday. You don't want to drive on that day.
And Sunday was
I
worse.
can't imagine golfing on that.
not a lot of happy golfers that day.
No, there was
That
not.
weekend.
For sure at the beginning, even Spawn, he bogeyed 5 of his first 6 holes on Sunday. So his head could not have been probably in a worse spot. But I think what did help him is the rain delay. There was an hour-and-a-half rain delay, and after the delay, he absolutely played incredible golf down the stretch. I want to say he shot 3 or 4 under after the rain delay, and just played really, really well down the stretch.
It's my Alaska or something.
Did you have a rain delay? I think you had a rain delay today, right?
Today, I did go golfing today, and I did have a rain delay. We got through 13 holes, got rained out, and then went and slid on the course a little bit through some water.
And
So
then
that
they
was fun.
shot 5 under the last 5.
Yeah, definitely what I did.
Yeah. 8-man scramble.
And then he did cap it off with a 64-foot putt
That'll make
to
you feel
win.
good.
Absolutely incredible putt.
It's kind of a beautiful bow on just an ugly tournament.
An absolutely late surge.
And that wasn't like a straight putt either. That was like
No, it was down a hill. I think it was
break.
down like a gully up the other side. And so going into 18, the leader was in the clubhouse at 1 over. He was even, so he needed a par to win. And he got 1 and 2, obviously 64 feet away. And it's like, okay, in these conditions, this could easily be a 3-putt. Like, obviously he's a pro. You expect him to 2-putt, but you're like, hey, with these conditions, this course, you never know. And then just drain the 64-foot putt to basically shut everybody up and capture his first major win was just an incredible moment for Spawn.
very cool.
Didn't catch much of it, unfortunately. Probably the least watched U.S. Open I've witnessed in a while.
All right. So, yeah, again, congratulations, JJ Spawn. Okay, switching gears just a little bit. College football is upon us. Not quite. I wish it was.
Really. I wish.
But we are all three of us, huge college football fans. That's probably one of the main reasons we started this pod is to talk college football. We also enjoy other sports very, very much. Don't get us wrong. But college football is definitely the one that we all three of us know probably the best, like combined.
Softball's up there, but
Yeah, women's softball is probably there. But other than that, so what we're going to talk about today is the Heisman odds. We're kind of going to go over the top 10 Heisman favorites. We're going to pick our favorite. We'll probably pick at least one, maybe 2 or 3 long shots that we really like. So you guys ready?
I'm so ready.
All right.
I
So
love college football.
we love college football. We'll put that out
it's
there.
just feeding our
Dude,
incessant
we're
thirst
so
right now.
ready for
We're
college
so hungry.
That's a $5 word.
Starving.
All right, well, where should we start? Should we start with just who we like the best? Or
So I'm going to read over the top
Yeah.
10,
Yeah.
top 10 Heisman favorites, and then we can probably what we'll do is go who we like the best after that.
Sure.
So at number 10, we have Dante Moore, the quarterback at Oregon. Number 9, Lenora Sellers, quarterback, South Carolina. John Mateers, number 8, he's a quarterback at Oklahoma. Number 7 is DJ Lagway, quarterback, Florida. Your guy, Ben. Number 6, Julian Sayin, quarterback, Ohio State. Number 5 is my guy, Drew Aller, quarterback, Penn State. Number 4 is the only non-quarterback on this list. Jeremiah Smith is a wide receiver at Ohio State. Number 3 is Cade Klubnik, quarterback, Clemson. Number 2, Garrett Nussmeier, quarterback, LSU. And your favorite to win the Heisman, according to FanDuel, is at plus 700, Arch Manning, quarterback, Texas.
What?
Yeah, I'm not too sure about the Texas.
Give him a
the
different
Arch Manning
last
one.
name. Let's see what his odds are.
Yeah, I think that. Which again, he was an incredible recruit coming out of college, out of high school. I mean, he is an incredible player. Him at number 1 is plus 700. Feels like a name thing with anything, but I will give it to him. He's a great player. Could definitely win the Heisman.
But will he?
We'll keep talking about it.
Well, yeah, we'll
so
keep
I think what we're gonna do is JJ or Ben, whichever one you want to start. Pick your favorite player who you think is going to win the Heisman.
Okay. Yeah, I can go first. I am a big Cade club.
Cade.
Club. We had the same problem last time in the first try. Can't say his name. Cade Klubnik. I like him. His game. He's got good receivers around him this year. The Clemson looks good. They look dangerous, especially in a poverty conference of the ACC this year. I mean, they have no competition at all.
They don't play Miami this year, so
Right, exactly. So I think that Cade's going to rack up some stats. I think he's going to have a great case for the Heisman.
JJ, you go next.
I kind of got 2 favorites. I'm going with my Travis Hunter pick from last year and my who should Ashton Genty pick from last year. I think Cade Klubnik should win. He has the talent. He's a runner. He's an extremely big player. Can throw it a mile. Arch Manning's going to be in New York.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, but is that a name thing or actually how he plays?
I think Texas is going to be very good.
Is that your pick to win the Heisman, Arch Manning? You going with the
I
favorite?
think Arch Manning is the favorite because of his name.
So you think it's because of talent or just because of his name?
I think it's gonna be because of his name. Just
Yeah,
like
I
Travis
think-
Hunter.
So you think he'll win because of his name?
I think so.
I think that it's going to be very hard for them to judge that because Texas is going to be good. Texas is always good. They're going to be good no matter what. And so you just put an average quarterback in there, and I'm not calling Arch Manning average. You know what I'm saying? You put a quarterback in there, he's gonna look really good because he's on the Texas Longhorns.
If it comes down to Arch Manning versus Cade Klubnik, who are they gonna vote for?
That's if it looks very similar.
Correct.
They're very similar. That's fair.
Even if Cade Klubnik needs to do more for Clemson than Arch Manning needs to do for Texas. Go ahead, Andrew.
That's fair. My pick, I had this a couple weeks ago, is also Cade Klubnik. So we can declare ourselves a Cade Klubnik pod. We really like him. I think the way he played last year down the stretch, especially in the ACC championship against SMU, and also in the playoff game against Texas, they went down early against Texas in that game, and I felt like really the reason they came back and were even in that game was because of Cade Klubnik. Just a couple of stats for him. He threw for 3,639 yards last year, 36 touchdowns to only 6 interceptions. And I think he'll just get a little better. I think Clemson as a whole team will be better this year. So, yeah, big fan of Cade Klubnik and feel like he could definitely win the Heisman. So next we're going to do some long shot picks. Just a couple guys that aren't maybe high up on that list. I really like if you pick a guy or two out of the top 10 that I did not mention, or just somebody you want to talk about in the Heisman that you think could possibly win, other than we've kind of stuck to the top 2-3 names there.
I got a lot. I mean, I'm just looking.
Start us off.
I think the top 3: Arch Manning, Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik are kind of the top 3 favorite.
I would put this out there. There's actually not very much the favorite or even one of the top 3 favorite
but
wins the Heisman. So that's why I like this long shot pick, because this is something that you should never bet on because you have no idea.
These are the only bets I do.
Well,
but if you do bet on a long shot and he gets it, it's a lot of money.
Exactly.
So you might as well.
I think a long shot is there's going to be a riser for sure, and I'm going to go with my new favorite player in college football that does not play for Miami, Lenora Sellers.
Oh, you are a Lenora Sellers fan.
I do like me some Lenora Sellers, mainly because of what he said about NIL and how he wants to stay at his home in South Carolina. He doesn't want to chase the big money because he's so young. I'm like, dude, I'm poor too. So
you can relate to him. That's why you like him.
I can totally relate. No, but he's just good for the sport. He's not chasing the. Oh my goodness, what a catch! Sorry, I'm watching some baseball too here. Dive and catch. Okay, Lenora Sellers, dual threat. I see a little bit of Lamar Jackson in him. Runs around. He's a little bit careless sometimes, so that can scare me. But if he can get that together, and here's the thing: if he can carry South Carolina in that SEC and get some big time wins, because those big time wins, you see Clemson. When Louisville beat Clemson, when Louisville blew out FSU, got Lamar Jackson on the map. If Sellers can do that, beat some big dogs. Just watch out for his name.
Yeah, I think that's probably where Sellers has the biggest advantage, is he plays in the SEC. So if South Carolina is a surprise and does really well, he'll get a lot of attention and
publicity.
But also they could lose 7 games.
It's fair. They could. But again, this is why he's a long shot.
That's the guy I would bet on right there. Also, Ryan Williams. He's been training with Devontae Smith. Devontae Smith's the last wide receiver to win the Heisman. So
yeah, I like Ryan Williams too.
Yeah, Ben, why don't you give us a long shot?
Fun fact: Ryan Williams is younger than me. Anyway,
that's depressing.
I don't have a lot of long shots. I really like DJ Lagway because I'm a Florida fan, but I do think he's going to have a good case at the end of the year. They brought in some very good wide receivers. I think they have 2 5-stars that are in here now. Maybe just one. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly. But they have some good wide receivers around him. If not this year, next year, I think he's going to be in New York. With that being said, a long shot, I don't know. I like Dante Moore a lot. I also like Sam Levitt. I think he's going to have a riser year. I'll tell you one person I don't like.
Who's that?
I do not like Garrett Nussmeier.
Garrett Nussmeier, the number 2 overall.
I don't think he's going to be that good.
You don't think he's very good? Why not?
Here's what I saw. Obviously, I saw him play Florida live. That was not a good game. We beat
I also
LSU.
saw him play live against Oklahoma. He played very well in that game.
Which, sure, give or take. But he threw a couple picks. I forget. He got sacked 7 times. Is his team around him going to be good enough? I don't know. I think they're going to be good. But, yeah, I just haven't seen enough out of him. I think he's
seen quarterbacks like him struggle to win the Heisman. Because he is stationary, he doesn't have that dual threat aspect. The last person that I remember was like a Mac Jones.
Yeah, he's going to be good.
Put up some huge numbers. to get into that discussion.
Yeah, I will admit, Nussmeier is probably a bit of a wild card because he can put up insane numbers. He also throws a lot of picks, a lot of turnovers, can hold on to the ball too long. Guy that can definitely put up huge numbers, but also have a very bad game.
I think you could kind of make him look. You could compare him to. I don't know. It's just gonna be hard. I think he's gonna go high in the draft. I don't think he's gonna get the Heisman. Is that fair?
That's fair. There's a lot of people who think he could be the number one pick in the draft just because of his size, his arm talent. But that's fair. Yeah, that there's a thing where very good NFL quarterback, not as good college quarterback.
Sure.
I'll give you guys one I really, really like. I love picking non-quarterbacks to win this thing. My long shot pick would be Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame.
Interesting.
I really, really like Jeremiah Love. It might have a little bit something to do. I was at that semifinal game when they played Penn State. He had one of the best 3-yard or 2-yard runs I've ever seen. I think he got hit in the backfield. He got hit by another 2 guys on like the 1-yard line and just willed himself into the end zone. And this, if you don't remember, was with one knee. He was hurt going into the game. He had a brace. Definitely not fully healthy. Still just played so well in that game. Even him hurt, his explosiveness was absolutely incredible. It jumped out at you. And I'm a believer that if he was in this year's draft, he would have got drafted before Ashton Jeanty.
This is a take I don't quite agree with, sir.
Tell me why.
If you can't beat him, join him, right? That's what we're doing here.
What do you mean?
He beat you up, so you're joining his
No,
side.
I like him
giving
for that.
Maybe
Maybe
flowers.
Maybe.
It's all right. You're pumping him up.
Maybe.
My thing is, if Ashton Jeanty didn't win it this year, what does Jeremiah Love have to do? Does he have to run for 4,000 yards?
Well, there wasn't a Travis Hunter. There's not a Travis Hunter this year.
That was my argument. There's no Travis Hunter this year, and I know with beyond a shadow of a doubt, if Travis Hunter isn't in football last year, Ashton Jeanty wins the Heisman.
Correct.
I don't care who it is.
It should have been this year anyway.
It should have been this year anyway. I thought he should have won it anyway. I did not agree with the pick.
But if we got an Arch Manning or
he's
someone,
he's not a two-way player like Travis Hunter was.
So you're
I
saying
think the only reason
it has
Travis
to be a
Hunter,
unicorn.
It has to be a unicorn. There's not a unicorn this year. That was the only way Ashton Jeanty wasn't in the Heisman. Lenore Sellers not. He's gonna be a donkey. He was not.
It'd be really cool if we could have like a Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith.
Yeah, I agree with that. Let's mix it up a little bit. Get some defense in there.
Who would be your defensive pick?
Francis Mauigoa,
Who?
Really?
Miami middle linebacker.
Of course, it's Miami. The highest defensive player I saw on here. Oh shoot, where was it? I believe it was Caleb Downs. I don't remember what his.
Look out for Jake Slaughter. That is a center for Florida.
Yeah, that's probably JJ's pick to win the Heisman. So Caleb Downs is the highest defensive player. He's plus 18,000.
Interesting because he didn't go to the draft this year.
Right.
Interesting decision.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
You guys got any more long
this
shot
list
picks?
is just firing me up.
It's just so fun.
I mean, Kevin Jennings could go off.
Kevin Jennings
Interesting.
is not going
staying
to
with SMU.
I hate that.
Carson Beck, best offensive line in the game.
That's a homer
Let
pick.
me throw out this name that Andrew loves when I say it. I say it to him a lot. Kind of sounds like a tow truck from Cars. John Mateer.
Dude, just miss me. Sorry, I bumped the mic there. Miss me with the John Mateer love.
Love me.
I
some John
cannot
Mateer.
stand the John Mateer love. I made
He's
this bet with you
Cam
last
Ward.
time. I'll do it again. If John Mateer wins the Heisman, I will take you out to a steak dinner.
I
I'll
mean,
do it.
And
I will
I
treat you to steak
changed the
dinner.
agreement. If John Mateer finishes higher than Drew Aller, then I agree to that.
That's not gonna happen.
See, I don't know that I like that as much because not because I don't believe in Drew Aller, but I think if Penn State plays really well, it'll be Nick Singleton, their running back, is the reason why, and not Aller. I love Aller. I hoping to take another jump. If he does, I do believe he can be in here, but he
We
hasn't
see
shown
these
it yet.
West Coast QBs playing that spread out there. They come to the East and they light it up. Cam Ward.
You want a West Coast QB? Well, not really West Coast, but
Give me a West Coast QB.
a Big 12 QB. One guy that lights it up a little bit. Way down your board, he is plus
Miller Moss. Miller Moss.
25,000 to win the Heisman.
If you say Miller Moss.
Ladies and gentlemen, my biggest long shot pick TCU quarterback Josh Hoover.
I love that pick.
I think if you're going to spend a little bit of money on a long shot, it's Josh Hoover. It's proven that he can at least get to New York. Max Duggan did it with TCU a couple years ago. I think Hoover's better than Duggan was.
Careful now.
Just hear these stats.
That's
Last year, Josh Hoover threw for 3,949 yards, nearly 4,000 yards.
Put up some numbers.
I would admit TCU does throw the ball a lot, but I think they'll be improved this year.
Reminds me of Patrick Mahomes.
Yeah.
Playing for Texas Tech, not that good, not that noticed, but he can put up some numbers.
Yeah, exactly. And I think TCU will be a little better this year. I love them in the Big 12 this year to make a deep run. I would really love as him like a pick to go to New York, probably better than a Heisman because it's going to be very hard for him to actually win it. But I could very much see Hoover in New York for the ceremony.
Interesting. I don't mind that. I don't. I think it's going to be an exciting race this year. I think it's pretty wide open. I think we can all agree. Unfortunately, Manning is probably going to be there. Klubnik is probably going to be there. But the third guy, any other guys that are close, I think it's going to be really fun.
There's going to be a riser.
For sure.
There has to be.
There always is. There's always somebody.
There's some guy that pops off.
Middle to the back of the pack that pops off and goes up. Like Travis Hunt. Sorry, whoa.
Can I interest you in a 6'6" QB from Michigan?
No, you cannot. Bryce Underwood?
Bryce Underwood.
No.
The freshman?
Michigan, easy schedule, great defense.
Will he start? Will he start every game?
They
Will
don't
it
have
be
as
by
many
himself?
weapons. He's gonna need to pull off some
Talk
plays
to,
with
talk,
his legs.
talk to us next year. We'll see.
Yeah, I could
He's got a
see
big
him.
arm.
I could see him next year, the year after that. I don't like
I
Bryce
like me some
Underwood.
Underwood.
I do. I like it. I like the names you're throwing out. But I guess we'll see. Yeah.
Oh man,
How about this?
It's just getting
How about,
scratched
how about
right now.
this? If Josh Hoover finishes above John Mateer in the Heisman
I like
odds, you
Hoover
will
too,
lose.
though, but I'll do that.
Okay, so we'll do that. So we have a bet right now. I have Josh Hoover. He has John Mateer. Higher finisher in the Heisman race, so the one buys a mistake dinner. All right.
Mateer go off.
So next thing we're going to talk about just here a little bit is Aaron Rodgers has been signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pretty big signing there for the Steelers. Feels like they're the type of team that every year they're right there with nobody, and they'll have Aaron Rodgers. So I feel like they could be a little bit of a scary team this year. I think it's going to be very interesting, and I'm very interested to see what they got this year.
It's so curious that you say scary because I am a known Aaron Rodgers fan. Kind of unpopular nowadays.
Yeah, I think it's going to be scary for the Steelers fans, especially. But
Aaron Rodgers, he
we'll
seems
see.
a little washed. He seems a little slow. I don't have a.
Okay, tell me
I
how this
want
is.
to have faith.
Tell me how this is different than the Aaron Rodgers or the Tom Brady trade to the Bucks. I get the Bucks might have had a little more talent on that team, but them getting Darius Slay from the Eagles bolster up their defense. Them getting DK Metcalf, a star receiver.
Tom Brady had Godwin, Mike Evans, Gronkowski.
Are you comparing
Antonio Brown?
Aaron Rodgers to Tom Brady, though? I mean, that's
I don't know if I'm comparing it. I'm just saying that
sure.
this seems like a spot he can win, and this is probably more trust in the Steelers as an organization,
Yeah,
and
the
Mike
system.
Tomlin as a coach. Because again, like I said earlier, it feels like the Steelers every year have nobodies, but they somehow make the playoffs.
Yeah, I would
so
say-
you give them a quarterback. What's going to stop them?
Yeah, instead of finishing 9-8, they might finish 10-6. 10-7.
And I feel like they could make it run at least like AFC Championship
Sure.
type team. So again, once you get the AFC Championship, all bets are off. You're kind of like then it's one game,
Right.
and you're in the Super Bowl.
I think there is a little bit of that sour taste from the Jets, and the Jets are dysfunctional, so you can't really count that. Pittsburgh has a culture. That's all. I need to see it before I believe it.
Definitely.
That's fair.
Another signing news. Who was it? The Packers? Or no? Who was it? Okay, never mind. We're just gonna.
You
pass
should
over
probably
that.
talk about the.
The NBA.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that real quick. Big news for Magic fans out there. The few Magic fans we have on pod.
You received LeBron James in a trade
You
and Anthony Davis together, package deal.
Don't believe that man for a second.
They traded for Desmond Bain. I'm sure some of you have seen it
Close.
already.
Pretty much the same player.
The trade package was not favorable for the Orlando Magic, in my opinion. So the Magic traded only for Desmond Bain, and they gave up Cole Anthony, their backup point guard, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, a veteran. They gave up 4 unprotected first-round draft picks and a first-round draft pick swap. 4 first-round picks and 2 role players for Desmond Bane. That's not a good trade in my opinion. I know Orlando is in a win-now mode, and they want their star. Desmond Bane's been averaging 20 points plus for the past 5 years, but that's a lot for Desmond Bane.
And it's just so counter what we're seeing in these finals, and what we're seeing working is even last year with the Celtics, homegrown players building that team from the ground up, and then these teams like the Suns who trade for Kevin Durant. What are they doing right now? They're in Cancun. You see trading for Doncic. They barely make the playoffs. And then the Magic are like, well, we're growing a good team here. We're getting our fans invested. We have some players that can grow to be better.
They gave the Celtics a run in the playoffs.
And then they go out and just give everything for Desmond Bane and talk about he's a good player, but
not that good. I mean, people were saying, like, if this is the trade package for Desmond Bane, what's it going to be for a Kevin Durant-type player? You know, that veteran superstar. I don't know, man. We just raised the bar. Or like Giannis, where's he going to go? We just raised the bar so high for these stars. It's going to be interesting.
It really doesn't make sense. And teams like the Spurs and the Rockets are considering not trading for Kevin Durant because they want to do it in a way where they're growing their own players, making that team culture. I just don't understand it.
It's going to be interesting to see what the Magic do with this because they had a big need for a point guard. I think Desmond can play point guard, but he's definitely not a pure point guard. And they just got rid of their second-string point guard in Cole Anthony. I don't know. They're going to have
to work. It has to work.
I feel
they
like
gave up everything for him.
Yeah, beyond this, I don't know. But yeah, should be interesting.
They got some sweet new jerseys though.
Oh yes,
I did see those.
I
Those are
might
sick.
be tuning into some Orlando games in the future. They're 2 hours away. I might have to swing by just to see the jerseys.
Great stuff.
Good stuff, boy. Yeah, should be a very fun off season already. Already kind of is for basketball. It's not even done yet. So got the draft coming up next week, so it should be really fun. All right, I think that pretty much covers what we want to talk about in this episode. So the only thing left for us to do is the 2-minute warning.
2-minute warning.
2-minute warning time. All right.
Let me get some cue music, some drum
Real
roll.
quick, we're watching the Rays. Probably could be the 2 best teams in the AL. Not in record. Detroit is the best team in the majors. Tampa Bay is playing really well right now. They are up 8-3.
And the Rays jerseys are very hot.
Speaking of good jerseys.
We'll have to do a jersey draft later in the
Ooh,
in the
we
year.
definitely have to get that in the,
Goodness
pod sometime.
grief. If you haven't seen the Rays,
Did you say goodness grief?
Goodness grief.
I had to give me one of them jerseys last year. They're just so good.
That's my new words is goodness grief.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, 2-minute warning. Back
2-minute
to
warning.
Drum roll.
Oh.
Drum roll.
And I don't even know what's going on. All right. Whatever. It's fine. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. The number 1 prospect in baseball, Roman Anthony, was called up to the majors last week. Not the greatest start to his career. He is hitting .074. Does have 1 home run, his first one in the majors, in his first 27 at-bats. Corbin Burns, pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks, out for the year with Tommy John surgery. That hurts the Diamondbacks. Their ace done for the year.
They look good, too.
Yeah, they did. Jack Caglione hit his first 2 home runs yesterday. Both came in the same game. So congratulations to Caglione getting his first 2. Big trade in baseball. Rafael Devers was traded to the New York Giants for right-handed pitcher Jordan Hicks, left-handed pitcher Kyle Harrison. Sorry about that. And 2 prospects. Not exactly sure what Boston was doing there.
Hopefully we have no Red Sox fans listening to this.
Yeah, with I guess what all happened with Devers this year, him moving back and forth, they got tired of it and they sent him away. Big signing in the NFL. Jair Alexander signs with the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson was kind of trying to get him there. Him and Alexander were
buddies.
They were college roommates at Louisville when they were there, so he had a big influence in getting him there. Pete DeBoer, we talked about this last episode. The Dallas Stars head coach was fired after that Ottinger pull. So
Don't want to be an NHL head coach.
yeah, that's not great. You have a great team that's been good for a while, and you make one bad decision, and you're gone, which I agree with. That was a terrible decision. We talked about that. Not quite sure how I felt about that. Other NFL news, Terry McLaurin, TJ Watt, Trey Hendrickson, and Shamar Stewart are the Bengals' 17th overall pick out of Texas A&M. All currently holding out of training camp because of contract negotiations. So that's big. Another thing with Steelers, probably the biggest one there is Hendrickson.
Bengals don't want a defense.
Yeah, Bengals, they can't really find a deal with, and that's 2 minutes. So that is the time.
Thank you for joining the pod.
Guys, that was fun. The second time we
Thank
answered that
you
one.
for joining the Take Two podcast.
No, it's still the 2 minute warning. Thank you guys so much for listening. We had a great time talking about sports. Hope you guys enjoy listening to this podcast and have a great
And you
rest
can
of your
hear
day.
us now.
Go Pacers.